The countdown is on for back to school. Are you ready? I'm inviting you to our 4th annual Back to School Resource Fair, Saturday, August 16th, located at the beautiful Fort Hays campus. Our Back to School Resource Fair is a day filled with support, connection, and community. You'll find free backpacks, walk-in sports physicals, fun activities, and over 100 community partners ready to help you and your child start the year with confidence. Last year, more than 12,000 families joined us, and this year, we're building on that momentum. We understand that when our students thrive, our community grows stronger. So join us on August 16th and visit ccsoh.us to RSVP today. Hope to see you there.
Welcome everyone. Today I am so lucky to be here with two, not just colleagues, but really my friends that do this work with us. Today I'm here with Myra Talley, who is ESL Supervisor in Academic Services. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I also get to be here today with Lilu Terefe, who is Assistant Director of Youth Programs at Tawahdo Social Services. Welcome, Lilu.
Thank you for having me.
Great, great. We are here today to talk about our English language learners and their families. So let's just get right into our discussion here. We often hear about ESL and ESL department and the BELLS program, which is Bilingual Engagement Liaisons. What is the difference between the two? And talk to me specifically about the work of ESL. Myra.
Sure. Our ESL program really focuses on the academic support for our EL students, just making sure that they obtain that proficiency to be successful in school. So we not only provide the academic support for our students, but we also provide professional development for our teachers, work in collaboration with our building principals, as well as provide communication support for our families as well.
Very good. And talk a little bit about that Language Assistance Center and the work that they do.
Yes, our Language Assistance Center, we have dedicated bilingual personnel that provides interpretations for parent meetings, district events, translations of important documents, district-wide information, school-wide information to our families, just so that way they can have the same opportunities that all other students in our district has.
And who is able to take advantage of those services?
All of our school personnel as well as our families. We have a system where school personnel can go in and request services, reach out to our department. We have phone lines that our families can call in and request support so that way we can contact the school on their behalf.
Okay, a lot of great services. And Lilu, we're going to talk about ETS, formerly known as ETSS, the acronym, but now Tawahdo Social Services. So tell us about the nonprofit and the larger work that they do, and then the BELLS program.
Yes, ETSS was created originally to serve and continues to serve refugee immigrant families. At first, it started in Ethiopian Orthodox Church, supporting a few students with their homework and any communication that comes from school. But then after a while, you know, the challenges and the need is much larger than just homework support. So that's where it grew from. But our goal is really to support families from the moment they arrive in the U.S. and throughout their life in the U.S., because the integration process doesn't start and stop at one point. It's a lifelong process. So ETSS serves from resettlement to job placement, employment, English learning, and then the biggest one is after school summer camp and out of school program overall.
Okay. And so out of COVID came this program called the Bilingual Engagement Liaison Program. Talk to us about that program and the work that they do.
Yes, so during COVID, as the learning went online for most of even American-born families, the online learning, taking attendance online, the learning process as a whole was very challenging. So ETSS, CCS created a task force where it brought community organizations to support with the online learning, and ETSS came on board to support ELL families, New American students. So within 3 months of the start of that program, we were able to see a drastic improvement. Attendance went, chronic absence went from 9% to 1%. The bilingual engagement liaisons were able to connect with families through home visits, phone calls, and group messages, and any other means possible to make sure that families are able to, use technology and be able to support their kids.
What are some of those challenges that that people are facing as they work with new Americans?
There's, of course, a lot of challenges from the moment they arrive in the U.S. as they go through the learning process. There's a lot of challenges that they face. Number one being the American education system, which is very much different from what they're used to or what they know, starting from the building, what it looks like, because some of our immigrant refugee families come from a refugee camp where maybe they were born in and raised, so understanding the whole building system to the expectation. For example, and where I come from, most of the time parents only go to school if your child is in trouble. So that's the only reason you go to. There is no really extracurricular activities or just that expected engagement that happens. So understanding the expectation, the role, and some families, because of the trauma that they face or mental health as they come into the U.S. or in their daily lives, not really understand the education system. So ETSS and ESL department together are able to come together and support, and through the family, schools, and community engagement program, the bilingual engagement liaisons provide a wider support, in a sense, helping our families understand that education system and being able to come alongside with them and guide them through the process.
And from your side, Myra, what are the challenges that you guys are seeing in ESL?
You know, three challenges just like jump straight out at me. It's obviously language barrier, cultural norms, as well as technology issue. You know, as you mentioned with COVID, you know, all of our students literally went into online learning, and parents just having difficulties to access Chromebooks and how to log in, how to check attendance, how to do all these things. And then we have a parent portal. Parent portal is a portal for our families to go in to check attendance, check grades, check scheduling, transportation, if they need to upload or change addresses. So all of those important vital things, you know, happens right on the parent portal. So it's important for our families to understand how to create a login and be able to access this and access the portal and be comfortable with it, you know, just so that way they can kind of stay up to updated with their children's schooling.
Yes.
So, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the language barrier. You know, a lot of our families come in with difficulties in English, and so I know that our department, we work really hard in making sure that our students are successful academically, but, you know, we have to bring in our families to get them involved and get them engaged and, you know, understand how do you participate in parent-teacher conference? How do you participate in signing up for summer experience, you know? So all of those things are a huge challenge for our families, and it, you know, obviously mirrors right into technology issues as well. So.
Yes, yes. And so as we think about going into a new school year, you know, you've got your books and markers and all these things, but preparation is key. So how do we help our EL families to have a great first start? Like, what tips would you provide them, Lilu?
To start with, summer is a good time for us to be able to engage with the families and communities in a larger aspect, because usually during the school year, we're more catching up and assisting them as the challenges and issues come along. But the summer month, it's a good downtime for us to be able to teach, you know, what parent portal is, what transportation, other resources are, really understanding the school resources, what is available to them and not, and also accessing community resources. One of the things we share with families and advocate for is summer camps, using those resources that are available to them, because we want to avoid summer learning for most of our communities. When they are at home, summer camps and other resources are very expensive, so accessing free summer camps so they are able to catch up on their education. And some of the students that arrive in the U.S. might not understand or might not be at their grade level. So this is a good time to be able to catch up with those things. So summer camps and other community resources is one thing we advocate for, but additionally, encouraging families to attend back to school events and logging into parent portal and more is really what we work on during the summer months.
Myra, what tips do you have for our EL families?
You know, we have our Language Assistance Center has worked tirelessly to with translating the new school year calendar, the magnet calendar. So finally able to have completed that, you know, project. So that will be given out to all of our families. So understanding just the calendar is very important. Understanding, you know, the start of the school year, when school start, the school routine, the bells schedule, the you know, transportation, how to access language access services or language services, you know, to contact our department if there is a concern, but also just to kind of go in and, you know, take a visit in your school, meet with the teachers there, just to kind of understand, you know, what is the you know, important information for our buildings. You know, lunch is important too. You know,
Yes.
How to get in and out of that locker is very important. Just things that we don't tend to think about is all those are very important for our families to understand. You know, school uniform, if there's one that needs to be, you know, for a school.
Yeah, there's a lot, and knowing ultimately that they are the consumer,
Yes.
right? And so that they have the right to come and to ask questions and to be partners in this work. So on the other side then are our school staff. So what kind of advice would you give to school staff when working with EL families?
In our work with school staff, one thing we really share with anyone we come in contact with is that new American families or refugee immigrant families really care about the education of their kids. That's one of the reasons why they come here. They go through the challenges, but then it's just they don't know what they don't know. The system is very much different from what they're used to. So really the learning process is every single day is a learning process for them. And life is not paused while they're going through the learning process. They have to live for themselves. They have to raise their kids through that. As they're learning every day, it's a challenge. So just understanding that challenge and advocating for them to be part of the process, because most immigrant refugee families come from a country where you don't really have a say in such systems, in governments or in any political or school systems. So they're even afraid to use their voice. So making sure that they are able to come along with school staff who are working very hard every day for the success of the students. So we encourage them to use their voice in that process.
Yes, very powerful. Myra?
I would say that definitely create a warm and welcoming environment, you know, I think it's for all of our families. You know, many families going in, they would love to be able to see signage that is in their home language, you know, just to feel like, oh my goodness, my, you know, my language is being celebrated. Celebrate the diversity in your building, you know, that is also very important for our families to be able to see, as well as making sure that, you know, the teachers provide interpreters for our parent meetings, just so that way the parents can understand all the opportunities that our district has for them, you know, as well.
Yes, thank you. And I feel so fortunate to have been able to sit with both of you. I would be remiss if I did not note that all three of us are immigrant daughters here in the United States. And I love that we see this as a superpower and an asset to be multilingual, multicultural, and bring such great richness to this tapestry here in Columbus, Ohio. So thank you, ladies, for sitting with us.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having us. Listen to your heart, listen to yourself, because as an immigrant child, I had to change my major a lot of times to the things that I didn't want. I'm grateful that I ended up where I'm serving families and what I would like to do. But if I could go back, I would listen to my heart, because it took me a longer route. So
If I can give advice to my younger self, it would definitely be to provide myself some grace and to not fear failure. Without failing, you cannot succeed. So just to make sure that I, put my whole self in and, give the best foot forward and just keep trying until I work it out.